it's not. I'll say regular.
Honestly,
It's not regular, condition.
but it is actually way more
basically,
common than you'd think. I hate
people are more
trees.
knowledgeable now because of the internet. So
different sizes of trees. It could be small, thin. Sometimes, if I want to really try to condition my knuckles, like I'm gonna get into more, but I'm talking about knuckles right now. So, when you know about Thai fighters, you know about karate fighters, and even some people who do kung fu. And there's Indian martial arts and stuff. I mean, if you know a little bit about martial arts, just not even, maybe you're not trained or don't have a training, but you know about certain sport aspects of things, if that makes sense. Testing. So, I had trouble with audio the last time that I did a rant, and I believe the audio is working smoothly at this moment, so we're just going to take advantage of it and rant. And so, I spoke previously on my latest rant or video on or second to latest, whatever, about how now, because YouTube is a little bit more stringent and YouTube is leaning in the direction of becoming a child-based platform that is geared more towards children, me being an adult that creates art and has an adult sense of humor, obviously, me being an adult, I just think it would be more realistic for me to put my main creative focus towards uploading to DTube instead of YouTube, because YouTube Kids, I will make content for YouTube Kids, most likely, but my point of the matter is, primarily my focus is going to be uploading to DTube, and that's simply because I feel like my growth and creativity would be stunted if I was to focus on YouTube due to the constraints, due to the rules and stuff like that's going on right now. So, getting that out the way, now, I talked about before on this channel how I make these videos for certain types of people. Now, that may sound weird to some people. Like, they'll say, so what do you really mean about that, Steve? Like, what do you mean that you make these videos for certain types of people? Like, are you meaning to tell me that the videos aren't for, like, everyone? Because that sounds a little bit messed up or weird. Like, what do you mean you're only making them for certain types of people? When I say that, I don't mean it. Don't take it like exactly literally. Like there's depth to what I mean when I say that. When I say that I make these videos for certain types of people, I mean any person could watch this video and it would be relevant and valid that you did watch anything that I'm putting on here. I'm not just talking and just saying things just to be saying anything. I'm trying to get people to understand things. And what I'm trying to get you to really understand first off is this. First off, I want you to understand this. That in this life, everyone dies at a point. We all die. Okay, so you're going to die at some point. between when you're born and when you die, all I'm trying to get across to people is that you could try to have a better experience while you're here. And what I'm trying to say when I'm saying that is I'm just trying to give you suggestions of maybe how you could do that. And then in the same breath, I'm also trying to explain that there's people are not always so innocent. What I'm trying to say is mainstream media that you watch on TV is not necessarily as innocent as you might think. People from in your day-to-day goings-on are not necessarily always as innocent as you may think. What I'm trying to explain and trying to teach people is not even exactly so much in depth how to do these things, but that there is a possibility of these things. That's what I'm really trying to get across to you. I'm trying to get across to you that, like, for instance, half of the stuff you see on TV, here in the news, and that people talk about on a daily basis are based on half-truths and forced agendas from certain types of parties. That's the first thing I'm trying to get across to you, is that when people start talking and they think that something is like knowledge, gospel truth, they think it's actual real truth or knowledge. A lot of times it's not. That's the first thing I'm trying to get you to understand. I'm trying to get you to understand that, like, half of the things that you may even be focusing on daily, or that people talk about, that have strong opinions about these things, it could even be whole religions based on these things, whole YouTube channels, whole rallies, what do they call them, protests, forums, vlogs, blogs. I'm trying to explain to you that so much of this stuff that's out here that people focus on, stuff that's printed in newspapers, stuff that's supposed to be common knowledge or modern common knowledge or even dogmas or philosophies. What I'm trying to tell you is that necessarily there's a lot of it that is total nonsense. Okay? And what I'm trying to get across to you is that you need to start thinking for yourself, and then you also need to understand that by you thinking for yourself, you may or not have formulated thoughts and ideas of your own in things that you may want to experience yourself in ways of life and in things that you may want to go do yourself. But then you also have to realize when you do that there's going to be a pushback from multiple people, because people, like I said, are taught to a degree to think that they understand something. So they think, oh, well, that's really, really weird. Why do you believe that? Or why do you even feel the need to go against the grain? Like, isn't it acceptable that we all believe this, or everyone? And the answer is no. If you're deluded and you're living in an illusion, if you really believe that most of the mainstream stuff that you're hearing actually has real relevance to the whole, this is the key I'm trying to get across to you, the whole of everything that's actually really going on in this world. And I also have to say that, like, in your own personal life, a lot of people, you always feel like, now this is only some people, but some people always feel like there's something you're always missing. Like, you feel like, there has to be more to life in this existence than just, oh, I get up in the morning, oh, I smoke my cigarette, I have my coffee, I go into my job, or, I wake up and I play with my kids, or whatever, or your wife, or husband, or whatever, if you're a girl, whatever, vice versa, whatever the heck's going on. You have to realize that, like, it's not even just about the world of the spiritual, because I always talk about that. I always talk about how, this life is designed in such a way to where the power dynamic between wealthy and people who are average to poor is such a big divide that if you're in a certain bracket, you don't have the time to start even thinking to understand that there's so much more going on, and you actually have time to look into that a little bit and understand, like, okay, well, are there things that might be worth my time into looking into that don't have anything to do with even things people believe exist? That, like, someone will say, oh, that sounds like nonsense. No, what's actual nonsense is the opposite. The nonsense is that you actually think all there is to anything is, and I'm going to keep this clean, so I'm not really going to go where I really should go with this, but I'm going to just, I'm going to keep this kid friendly so it can be monetized. But what I'm going to say is, there's more to life than, like I said, your coffee, whatever show you think you like so much, whatever sport you think you want to watch that you're so obsessed with, whatever, cigarette you smoke and coffee you drink and meal you like and Netflix show or whatever, Hulu, whatever, and your friend, spouse, whatever, your girlfriend, your friends, your boyfriend, or whatever you're doing, your kids. You gotta understand that there's so much more to what's actually real and what's going on, that, like, if you have this feeling like you're thinking, like, you have this maybe a desire for more, like you're thinking, like, this is, and what I also have to put out there for myself, from my perspective, is, and don't go looking in Christianity either. For some people, you become Christians. Now, I've said it before, that I'm a Satanist. This is a satanic channel, and that is what this channel is. Okay, so from my satanic perspective, don't go saying, oh, I have to fill this void with giving my life to Christ or something, or becoming a Mother Teresa, or becoming a Jesus type figure, or now that's okay if you want to go down that road. If you want to do a sort of selfless, sort of strange discovery of some part of yourself that's outside of yourself, because what you're doing then is, all you're doing in that instance is you're delving into a part of yourself that is actually a real spiritual part of everyone's self, but that's a different part of yourself, though. There's multiple parts to a person, is what I'm saying. A person, and I'm going to speak on this in this video too. Some people look for God outside of themselves, but what they don't really realize is that all God is just a collection of everything that exists, of creation in itself. So every person pretty much is God, actually. It's just, you're just an aspect that doesn't really have the ability, from this perspective of yourself, because this is only a part of yourself, what you think is human, what you think is what you're experiencing, what you think is life, what you think is, I wake up in the morning, I dream, I sleep. That's only a tiny aspect of what your actual self is, but that's just, in this place and time, is what you're able to experience. So that I'm trying to really tell you something. You're thinking that, oh, well, maybe I should go and become Christ-filled. Maybe I should become, like I said, a Gandhi figure. Maybe that's okay. If you want to go do that, fine. You could go do that. So no one's stopping you from doing that. I'm just saying there's another way. Like, there's a more selfish way. There's a satanic way. There's a way where what you feel like doing is, you don't want to just delve into, like, this aspect of the spiritual. You don't want to become a person who fears nothing. You don't want to become a person, you do. What I'm saying is, let's say you want to become a person that fears nothing, that knows death is a thing. You know what reality is. You know that you are going to die someday. But what you're thinking about is, you're thinking how you could make your life better, more pleasurable, you want to make your experience more fun, if you will. And you understand that, like, part of the dark parts of yourself well, I have to say, like most people, you're probably so stuck on the dark parts of yourself already, is half of the reason why you have so many issues. I hate to say it, but that's probably the truth. That's probably the real truth. Some of you people, you actually, what you need to do is you need to quit the BS, and you need to, how do I say this? You need to have actual discipline in your life, actual self-control, because you have none. Because that's the problem. You have no discipline. You have no self-control. You're too impulsive. You're too lazy. So the thing is, you're kind of like always in the dark area, but you're never in the right part of the dark area. That's how I'll say it. And someone will say, well, that's just mean, or that's just so judgmental. Sorry, bro. It's not that. It's the truth. And you know it's the truth. So that's why you don't like that, because it makes you feel uncomfortable. But that is the truth for you, and for half of you, most people out here. And someone will say, oh, so what's so different about you? And I'll explain that. So what's actually different about me is this, bro. What's different is this. What's different about me is I'm always currently disciplined. I'm always currently doing things in a way to where it's pushing me in a direction towards success in a certain thing, or success in a certain this or that or the other thing. So it's not like I'm wallowing in, okay, I'm just doing this because it feels good, or I'm just doing this because I want to, or I'm just doing this because I'm too lazy to do this. See, with me, that's not an option. Do you get what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, I'm doing what I'm telling you that you should be doing. I'm not just telling you that like a person that's just telling you something. No, I'm telling you to do what I've already been doing for years. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I'm even on this channel. That's why I have a channel. If I didn't want any more in life, I wouldn't even have this channel. I would just say, oh, there's no point in even trying, and just, oh, I'll just do whatever I do, or maybe I'll go to college and get some degree that I probably never will use. And like, the point is this: is I have more belief in myself, and I believe that like it's worth trying. Okay, so I'm doing that. That's my point of making. You're not doing. Well, it depends on who you are who's listening to this, but what I'm saying is, this is for you people who are not doing what you should be doing. And some people think, oh, well, I thought you were a Satanist. So you mean to tell me you think that people who are a Satanist have no structure? Do you think it's all fun and games, or all party time, bro? Do you think that's what this is? That's not what this is. That's not even in the slightest what this is. This is militant. This is life or death. This is disciplinary, and this is serious. This is you're doing something so you can have something. Not you're doing something and using the what's the word? You're using the misconception of that because you're coming from a satanic or demonic point that there's no it's chaos. There's no logic to this. There's no practicality. There's no discipline. No, it's the opposite. Not for everyone, but for me, a person like myself, it is the opposite. It is all discipline. Okay? It is beyond discipline. It is beyond discipline. So get that idea out of your head that you think that the realm of darkness in itself, in all its capacity, is chaos and no order, and you think that it's just a joyride, and all it is fun, and you're just going to abuse your body with drugs. You're just going to do things with whatever person or people that you want to, and you think that it's all fun and games. It is not that. Because if it was just that, then what would anyone be striving towards? You have to understand, there's an order with things. There's a way, there's reason, logic, and there's discipline. You know, do you understand that? I'm trying to get you to understand that. So, with all that being said, what I'm trying to say is this. I'm trying to say, yes, this channel is about going towards the left-hand path. Yes, this channel is about finding the balance between your dark and your light side. Yes, this channel is about how do I say this? Pledging and not just saying it because it sounds edgy, or you're just trying to be an edgelord, or you're just trying to impress people. No, this is about people who are genuinely sold out to darkness. People like myself who are genuinely have pledged their allegiance to Satan, the forces of darkness, and they have genuinely given themselves into the hands of the demonic, and they have let that they are actively living by that, and they are active. What I'm trying to say is this. I'm saying you're willing to sacrifice things that maybe you think are this or fun or good for yourself, but you're being guided by certain forces that you can also learn from, but that they will also help you to have a life that you enjoy more. So what it is a sacrifice. But it's not a Jesus on the cross, I go to church on Sunday, I give my $50 to a bum who's probably going to use it for drugs. It's not that type of sacrifice. No, this is like a businessman sacrifice or businesswoman sacrifice. Like this is more or less, okay, you know it needs to be done, and you're going to do it, and you're going to have discipline and self-control about it, because first off, you don't want to waste your own time. Second off, you better not, like I said, if you're working with any type of forces that are outside of yourself and greater than yourself, you better not be insulting them by playing games and playing around. And there's a time where you have to realize that you are working with something greater than yourself, and you have to say, okay, this is not. It's like there's I'm not gonna say use the word fear, but I'm gonna say there is a healthy sense of fear there, like where it's like, okay, so you're not playing around with these things. Okay, this is not a game. This is what you asked for. This is what you're getting into. You're not playing around with this. This is not a game, bro. This is not edgy. This is not cool. This is not okay. This feels cool. This seems cool. This is exciting. Yeah, it is exciting, but it's like it's not that. We are not children. You are not a 16-year-old girl in high school playing Miss Witchy Witchy or whatever, or some guy playing Mr. Warlock. This is serious. This is like, are you really going to take this to your grave? This is what I mean. This is only for people who have made that decision, like myself, who have made the decision of, okay, this is being taken to my grave and beyond. I'm serious about this. This is my religion. This is not, like, I'm not saying it's a religion, but I'm saying, like, you have chosen this as your way of life in your being. You have seen enough, you have experienced enough, that you have made that decision. Right? And I'm not talking about people who are saying, oh, well, I am a Satanist, but I don't believe in the devil per se. I don't believe in the Christian idea of the devil. But I know this. I know that when I truly believe what I believe, and I truly am doing what I'm supposed to be doing because I chose it, I know that by proxy I am the devil. I already know how that works. It's not that there's a devil. I know that there's an archetype, and I know that there is a current. I know that there is a power. I know that, like, at that point, I've already, the moment that you decide that you are becoming that, you're going to become that which you are actually learning from, that which you the truth of the matter, just like I said about the God word, it's like, you got to understand that all this is an almost inverted version or a different face of what you would call God, you know what I mean, or what you would call a God or whatever, So what I'm trying to get across to you is, all you're really doing is you're opening yourself up to a potential that's already part of yourself. And someone will say, well, what does that even mean? Well, if you don't understand it, if you do, like I said, if you're serious about this and you spend enough time living this thing out, then you'll understand what I just said. Eventually, you'll come to that conclusion. And I'll say it like this: you may even realize it in a very like jarring, very real way, like literally, somewhere, somehow, even on a very paranormal way, like it happened to my own self. You'll realize that like that's exactly what's going on here. Like this whole big mystery of that people have their opinions about things, and someone may have said to you like way in the past, they may have actually said to you, because people said things like this to me before. They said, well, when I was a Christian, they were like, you do know that like all that you're doing is worshiping a different face of what is actually evil. It's just that good and evil is really two faces of the same thing. And I'm thinking, as a Christian, you get all uptight and you get all mad, and you're thinking like, that's not scriptural. Oh, you get all mad, and you're really like seriously mad, and you're like, you're pissed off. You're thinking, that's evil what you just said, And in reality, someone just told you what's actually true is what they did. They really just told you exactly what's going on. But you don't want to believe that, though, because in your current state, it goes so much against what you think you believe that you don't want to believe that. So what really happened, how I'll describe it now, is my past self, like I said, when I was a Christian, that whatever year that was, whatever date, actually believed that was false, and now I know that they were actually right. Things just work in a weird way. And I'm going to cut the video here soon, but I'm also going to say this. All this stuff about, we're afraid of this, and this is of the devil, this paranoia, because the things that are going on in this world at this point, those of us that know about this whole crypto thing, this whole cryptid thing, this whole alien disclosure, this whole thing about you see the Dogman Dark Orders videos, you see the Sasquatch videos, you see all these videos about these entities, and this is the honest truth. And I kind of hate to say this because some people think it just sounds crazy, but it's because you're ignorant. We are all the same thing. You have to understand that. The moment that you get born into this world, right? Think of it this way. Imagine if you were a consciousness and you didn't have a body, right? You don't have really the ability to do anything. I hate to say it, but you don't. You're I don't mean that's actually me overstating a lot of things, because that's not true. But what I'm saying is to impact this world in like a way that a person would even perceive. Like for instance, a chair sitting there, right? For you to move that chair, for you to get a person's attention, for you to do something that you necessarily say is okay, I'm doing this, right? What I'm saying is a consciousness in itself may not have the ability to just so easily just do that, right? You may not even be cognizant. You may not even understand like that you are anything from a certain perspective. But the moment that you actually are something, like you're a little baby child, you're a goat, I don't know care what you are, you're an insect or something, you have abilities. Like for instance, you have digits, like you have fingers, right? You have fingers and toes. You may like when you're a child, you say, "Oh, I wonder what happens if I touch this." You reach out and you grab something. Like you see babies, they try to pick up cans, they try to touch people's hair, it's all the same. Is what I'm saying. There's no difference between a dog, man, a person. There's really no fucking difference. Well, damn it! I don't want to curse because I wanted to keep this clean, but now it's over. It's no now I can't even monetize this because I just cursed, unless I could somehow find a way to edit that out. But what I was trying to say was, I'm trying to say that it may sound stupid and cliche, but it's the truth. I'm not saying everything is the same, but what I'm saying is there's no sense in trying to get all worked up over certain things. And once you've been to a certain place, whether that's like physically, mentally, spiritually, like myself has been to aspects of all of that, physically, mentally, and spiritually, you understand that in a very serious, hardcore way. Like, you're brought to a place where you understand, okay, there's way more to existence that matters that you should be focusing on. Like, it does not matter about, like, okay, this is a dog man, this is a person, it doesn't matter. You understand it's one or two things. You understand it's either like I said, like, for instance, imagine if someone just lopped off one of your hands, right? Literally one day you woke up and you were chained up and someone just cut one of your hands off and said, okay, now turn the page in that book that you read. You aren't going to be able to do it. So you understand that the difference between you not being able to turn that page and not is simply that you don't have a hand to do it. Let that really sink in, what I just said there. You get what I'm saying? You gotta understand that, like, it's not anything you think. You're putting all this value in, like, okay, well, I'm a person, and that's a cryptid. Okay, I'm a Christian, and that has to be of the devil, because I don't understand. Nah, bro. What you're totally missing. You're beyond missing the point in so much entirely. You're missing the whole point of, like, no. What it is both of you are on this planet for some reason, and you both were given, like I said, fingers and toes, and you're both here because for whatever reason you have the opportunity to do something or do things, and you are more or less stuck here with each other. It's not all of that nonsense that you think, that most people would think, or that, just the general people just think, like, oh, well, or you don't believe in it at all. You think, oh, there's no way something like that could exist. That's craziness. Why do you think that even exists? See, you have no clue. How do you think you exist? That's the funny thing. Do you really think that it's so normal that you exist as a human? Do you think that is normal? Do you have any clue of how mundane your existence actually is? How many other things that are out here that exist? That's the truth. And when I use this channel to talk on these things, I'm trying to get across to you, like I'm trying to beat it into your head, almost literally, that you need to start understanding that. Because what I'm saying is this, do you want to understand the progression that this existence is actually going in? Or do you just want to just let it just pass you by? Or do you want to live in the same delusion that you've been living in for so many years? Do you want to just keep living in that delusion and illusion? Or do you want to be brave enough to understand that there's way more that's going on, that you really don't want to believe it's going on, but it is? So there it is. There's a secret to a lot of things that, some people don't understand. The illusion is this. The illusion is one that you are what you think you really are. Like, you think that, oh, it's just this simple. I'm just a man. I'm just a woman. I'm just a human being. I'm just... what you are is you're just consciousness is what you are. You're a piece of consciousness that has some way or another found itself in a human body is what you are. But it doesn't mean that couldn't have been way off somewhere else. It could have been totally different. That's what you need. You need to understand that. So you need to understand that all that fear and all that, this is freaky, this is scary, you need to just totally understand that, like, look, none of that crap actually matters. Because I'm telling you, like I said, the moment you die, if you do die, which you will at some point, but the moment that you realize that the line between life and death is so thin, paper thin, you realize so much does not matter. And I'm not saying doesn't matter as in the fact of, like, that nothing matters is in you don't want to have any fun in your life, you don't want to have any pleasure, you don't want to change anything about yourself, you don't want to experience anything better. I'm not saying that. Because a person like myself, the whole reason why I'm talking about this stuff is because I'm trying to get across to you, like, there's a possibility that you could have better. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you have to change the way you think. You even have to change the way you approach fear in a healthier way, because you have to realize that, like I said before, the line between life and death is so paper thin that in essence, and this is someone will say, you're crazy. No, you're crazy, bro, because you don't even know half of what even exists. What I'm going to say is that you can step from being in what you call life with quotation marks into death in seconds. You could literally leave your body. You could literally transition from what you think is real, what you think is this existence, into what actually is, and then you realize, okay, this is actually BS. Like there's so much more it's literally like what goes on that you can't perceive is actually more than goes on that you think you do perceive. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, this physical world that you think is, there's so much more that it's this pales in comparison to what actually is what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to explain. So when you understand that, you start realizing that, okay, a lot of stuff is nonsense and isn't even worth your time. So you realize certain religious things are not worth your time. Like Christianity is one of them. You realize, like, okay, this is nonsense. You realize that a lot of mainstream media, where they try to get you to get worked up over, like, racial things. They say the cops murdered someone. So what if they did? That's one little person amongst millions of people. Was it wrong if they really did do that? Yeah, it was wrong. But looky here. They're all gonna die too at some point. And then also look at this. Look at the fact, like I said again, that's one person to so many other people. Is that cynical, maybe? How you think? Like, I don't know. But look, what I'm saying, you get the point. You start understanding how BS some things are. Like, oh, okay, so someone you think, I'm a bad person because I believe this or whatever. I'm a bad person because of this or that. Oh, you're a bad person? Do you realize that, like, if you compare eternity to actually now, or this time, or a month or two of where you seem like a bad person to a so-called group of people, but to, like, thousands of other people, or even millions of other people, they could care less? You got to understand how things like that really work. That's what I'm trying to tell you something. I'm trying to make you understand that so much that people really believe or hold dear is so flimsy. It's just so flimsy. It's such flimsy nonsense to where, like I said, you gotta put everything in perspective and realize what actually matters to you. Like, does that actually matter to you, or does this actually matter to you? You know what I mean? Is it worth sacrificing anything for that, or is it worth this, subject B that you actually care about? See, that's my point. My point is that you have to understand that a lot of things that you may think is horse crap. Well, I already cursed, so fuck it. It's horse shit. It's bullshit. So I've talked about this before in other rants. That's part of what this channel is now. Yes, this channel is about fun and recreation and all that, but it's also about real shit, like serious shit. And this is part of it. This is part of the serious shit. Is where you better fucking get this through your head, like, fast. Get it through your head, man. Like, really get this shit through your head. This is something to where it may take you like, you may go through a depression. You may go through months and actual psychological layers that have to break down of you coming to an understanding to where you actually get what I'm saying. And all I'm saying is only, this is the funny thing, anything I'm saying is it's only an aspect of what you could live out, because like I said, you have a choice. You could do whatever you want now. You could do whatever you want. This isn't something that's like some must. This is just all I'm doing when I tell you something like this. I'm just giving you an option. That's all I'm doing. I'm giving you an option of something. What I'm doing is I'm exposing something to you that is an option. It's something that maybe a path. It's something that you may want to look into. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a path thing. It's an opportunity. That may not have been presented to you. It's kind of like, look at it this way. Imagine a person who was, let's say they lived in a certain city, they had a certain belief system, let's say they thought they believed this or that, they did things a certain way, they had certain friends, and let's say I said, hey, guess what, you know what, how about you actually do this and destroy all of that you thought you were into, that you thought was your, what you, what if you just destroyed all of it, and then said, okay, you're going to go in this direction. And some people actually do just that. That's what this actually is. And part of this is like, this is my version of my invitation into, first off, Satanism. Second off, the left-hand path. Things such as demonolatry. Things such as black magic. Okay? So, what I talk about on this channel when I talk about this is like the dark side of things, cryptozoology. When I talk about cryptids, I'm giving you an option is what I'm doing. I'm saying there's one door here. It's like the red pill, blue pill thing. It's like there's this option and there's that option. I'm giving you one of them. I'm telling you from my perspective. Now you could choose another, that's okay. But I'm telling you that this is here. And what I'm also telling you is, aren't you curious about what's over here? That's a question I'm asking you. Like, aren't you very curious about what's over here? Or are you curious about what's over there? Because you seem like you don't understand what's going on over here. So maybe you just might want to peek in here. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you, like, this is something that she may want to really think about. And this is really for those people who have thought about this, like, but maybe you're too scared, or you think there's a consequence, or you literally think that something terrible is going to happen to you. You know what I mean? Like, you think something terrible is going to happen, like, which I've been there too, thinking like, oh, something terrible is going to happen, like, but no, nothing terrible has happened. The most terrible things that have honestly happened to me in my life has just been in like mundane, stupid instances. You know what I mean? The most terrible things that ever happened to me in my life have been just like dumb shit, bro. The stupidest shit. Like, for instance, I'll give you some examples. Like, one, maybe a girl that like I was in love with ended up getting married or something, or maybe I ended up being homeless because I couldn't pay rent or something, or maybe it was like I was talking to someone getting out of my comfort zone, and I was trying to be friendly and personable, but then this person was just some homosexual deviant weirdo that was only talking to me because they like fucking men or something, and they were thinking maybe that I'm just being friendly because I'm also of the same persuasion that they are or something. You know what I mean? Or maybe it was that I thought someone that was like a actual friend of mine really wasn't. You know what I mean? Or like I gave someone a large amount of money and the person literally skipped town on me or something. Literally like, oh yeah, I'll pay you back. And then, I don't know, they moved to some other state or something. Now that's the most, do you see what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is this, and I've talked about this before. It's not some scary woo-woo fucking black magic spiritual shit that's gonna like piss you off enough to where you think you're gonna murder someone and go to fucking prison. That's not the thing that's gonna just rock your whole world. No, usually the shit that's gonna really fuck you up in this world is some shit that a person does, which is just like a mundane, day-to-day, normal type of person. That's either your general. It could be a neighbor, it could be a friend of the family, it could be your own spouse or something, it could be even your own child or something. It's always a person. That's what I always say. It's not some monstrous unknown thing. No, it's usually just a seemingly normal person, or just normal person. You know, people just do fucked up shit. So this whole idea too of like, oh, you know, you're gonna delve into this dark shit and then you're gonna end up I don't know, being possessed or cursed or or hexed or no, if anything, you're gonna hex someone else. If anything, you're gonna fuck somebody else's world up. Really, but the thing is this, like I said, you know, all that fear mongering about, you know, stuff that you don't know about or that's unknown. It's all that. It's just fear mongering. It's nothing real to it, really. There's no real danger for the most part. There usually is not much danger to it. And like I'll say again, like death is the least thing. I hate to say it, but you know, death is part of the least shit you could worry about. So I'm being honest. In this world, death is one of the least things you can fucking worry about, man. Like I said, death is promised to you. So it's not really that. It's the point of like your life. You know, it's like I said, you got people walking around that are pretty much already dead. You know, they have nothing going on. They hate everything. They're going nowhere. They're making no steps to change anything. It's just a sad, dragged out song and dance of a slow, painful death. So which one would you rather welcome? A faster death or a slow, dragged out, painful death? And I mean, the thing is this, I don't know, I can't say I know, but I think at least that regardless when you die, you know, there's still opportunities for experience, whether you're living or you're dead. But my point is, in this life, and this is also, you know, a satanic thing, me being a Satanist, this is a satanic thing. In this life, what do you really want in this life? Like, aren't you going to strive for things that you want and care about while you are still alive? Because you're going to die at some point anyway. You are going to die. Like, but the point is, do you want to strive for things now, or do you want to just be like, oh, you know, that's just not even realistic? Like, how do you really know that? How do you know these certain things? Like, is it not realistic, or are you just too lazy, or too depressed, or too soft, or too whatever you are, to even try? Okay, so like I said before, this rant is for people who are actually really serious about this thing. Hardcore, already given themselves over to all of this already. Like, you've already said, okay, well, you know what? It's because you're sick of everything. So you're like, oh, okay, I'm in, right? That's really who this is for, this type of video. It's for people who've already given themselves over to this thing. Okay, so you're already in. But you just need someone to kind of work you up and talk you up so you have more confirmation. There's more synchronicity going on, so you understand more. Like, okay, there's other people who get this, and you know, there's more to this. So I'm gonna cut the rant there. Like I said before, this at this current time is Steve's Art and Fun channel, but you can also find me at under Steve Rom 666, and that's on DTube. So like I said, all the other serious shit, like in the future, even just the comedic shit that I'm planning on doing, like skits and all that shit, film camera type of shit, that is going to be on DTube most likely, because YouTube is not playing around. YouTube doesn't want me to say certain things. YouTube doesn't want curse words. YouTube doesn't want graphic content. YouTube doesn't want adult humor. YouTube wants nothing funny or really real that I can give to you. YouTube doesn't want any of it. YouTube wants me to be kid friendly. YouTube is changing its direction and going in the direction of being a child platform, YouTube Kids. So I'm jumping off. I'm jumping into fucking DTube. I'm going on DTube. Like I said, fuck YouTube. Primarily, I'm going to be on DTube if I have to be. Because there's certain things I'm going to want to say, and I'm not going to want to censor myself for too much longer. I don't like doing that. So I'm going to want to say it as real as it is, say it how it is. If you get offended, you're a certain type of person, you're of a certain group or whatever, or persuasion or preference or whoever the fuck you are there, get the fuck out of here then. Because I don't give a fuck. You know, it's like, don't watch the video, don't watch the content, and keep it moving. Because I'm not going to change. I'm not going to become one of these people who's going to tell you, oh, you know, everything is toxic that's good in you have to be gay, trans, queer, or some other weird thing. You can't be a real man. You can't be this. You have and also what's with all this other weird shit like fat phobia? Like, so you mean to tell me if you're a fat fucking disgusting slob that's okay and people have skinny privilege and it's a toxic, unrealistic beauty standards for everyone else? And like, so you mean to tell me that like every strong or beautiful trait that a human can have is all of a sudden now wrong all of a sudden, and you gotta be this weird fucking queer fat lazy soft fucking thing? Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. Don't you ever come at me with that shit. Don't ever come at me with that bullshit. And second off, I also say that like sometimes you know what I think when I hear this shit coming out of your people's mouths? I feel like, you know what? I wish your father had to beat the shit out of you or something. I wish some motherfucker in your formative years rocked your world to where you wouldn't even think it was like an idea to fucking think that bullshit. Now, it's okay on one coin, because you're going to be whatever the fuck you want to be. But my issue is this: don't you ever come over here trying to tell me fucking nothing. Because on some real shit, if it was in person, I would fuck you up. In seconds, bro. If I got one notion that, like, you were dumb enough to push the issue enough, I would fuck you up, bro. And you would know that in seconds if you knew me. You would understand that's exactly what the fuck's gonna happen. Fuck. So don't even open up the can of worms, because it'll be your fault. It won't be my fault. It'll be your fault, bro. And that's part of what this movement is on this channel. This movement is a warrior class. This isn't no gay-ass soft shit. The fuck out of here, then. What the fuck? Man, you take that shit and shove it where the sun don't fucking shine. Take that shit and take that bullshit somewhere else, because I'm not fucking having it. I'm not having that shit in reality, in the street, in my life. I'm not having that shit on my channel. Get the fuck out of here with that gay ass shit, bro. Take that shit somewhere the fuck else. Take that shit somewhere else, bro. I always tell people that, like, it's okay what you want to do with your life. It's okay that you want to be who the fuck you are. But the second that you think that you want to try to tell me how I should do some shit is where the problem, that's where there's a fucking problem, bro. That's the problem. That is a problem that I will address. I don't play that shit. You're not going to do that. It doesn't work that way. And you need to stop. I said it before like this. What you need to stop doing is you need to stop trying to, indoctrinate children and also brainwash just general human beings that that's the way it has to be, or that's the like, are you fucking out of your fucking mind? like seriously, are you out of your fucking mind? It's like, you can't take a person and tell them that what they are is just wrong, that would be the same. That'd be the same thing as me telling you that your pussy ass, soft little gay ass was what is wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just telling you that it's not what I am. Do you get my point? Like, for instance, if a little kid wants to play with trucks, cars, or Barbie dolls, is their own business. You're not gonna fucking tell them what the fuck. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's my biggest issue with this whole leftist, modern age, new age bullshit. Is why the fuck are you people trying to brainwash people and tell them that it's supposed to be this way? Oh, really? Oh, fucking really? Is it this way? It's not that way, bro. It's what the fuck it already is. And it's not gonna change. And it ain't gonna change. So just stop. So like I said before, take your little fucking ass over where the fuck you know you're supposed to be and stay there. And shut your fucking mouth and have a good fucking time. And that's it. Fuck. Do you get my point? It's like, so it's not enough that you can't just live your life and just do whatever you want. You know, that's not enough? Huh. So now you want to start trying to push agendas. See, that's my problem. That's my fucking problem. That is my problem. See, I told you on this video one or two things. I told you this is an invitation into something. This is not a push. This is not, you gotta be this. I didn't say that. Oh, it's toxic if you're that. I did not say that. I said, I'm opening the door and giving you an opportunity to experience a different type of thing, a different culture, a different lifestyle, a different religion even. I'm giving you the opportunity that something else is out here. I'm not telling you that it's right or wrong, that you should be whatever you are. Or I'm not telling you that. See, I have a problem with people that come at me with that type of angle. And then you want to get all mad and get all indignant and get all this and that because you know that I want no parts of that shit. So that's an issue I have. And it is addressed. I've addressed it many times, but I'm addressing it again. Because I know YouTube is not of my persuasion. YouTube, now this is the thing. YouTube might be okay for if it's like not Christian. Because in their minds, they think Christian equals normal. Christian equals toxically masculine. Christian equals conservative. Which it doesn't. It necessarily doesn't mean that. There's fucking gay Christians out there. There's lesbian Christians. There's trans Christians. There's all types of Christians. So that's already doesn't even have much relevancy. What I'm trying to say is this, is they're okay with some shit because they think that if you're of a left-hand path or you're satanic, it also means you're of some fucking LGBTQP and minority fucking, or just because I'm black, I'm supposed to be the fuck? When the fuck did that? Like, when was that a thing? Like, how is it that blacks or people who are non-Christians are all of a sudden into all that bullshit? It doesn't. It's not hand in hand, bro. It doesn't work that way. And that whole ally bullshit people try to pull is like, oh, you're an ally. No one's an ally to nothing, bitch. Fuck. You guys are crazy. You motherfuckers are crazy. That's my whole point. Is you motherfuckers are crazy out here, man. It's not me that's the crazy. It's you motherfuckers that are crazy as fuck. So, like, comment, and sub. Like I said, this is Steve's Art and Fun channel. This is YouTube, but in the near future, like, I've already started uploading to DTube, so I'm already on there. Like I said, it's Steve Rom 666. The ROM is caps, no spaces. and you know, often I say things on YouTube, and I do fear my channel being shut down. But that's one of the main reasons why I am on DTube now, because I'm pretty sure on DTube they're a little bit more lenient. So there will be more rants coming, and probably better things. But I'm not gonna mince no fucking words on the DTube. So if you enjoy this content, like I said, if you're one of the people that are of this culture and you don't play no fucking games, and you're into this demonic shit and you're into this satanic shit, and you're not necessarily so conservative, but in the same coin, you're not on no gay ass agenda or no sissy agenda. They want to make men into little bitches. You want to make men women. You can't admit what a real woman is. Whatever, so on and so forth. You're a bunch of little fucking bitches and snowflakes. That shit, like if you're, like I said, if you're not for any of that shit and you're not conservative, if you know what the fuck I'm talking about, then, you know, like, sub, and comment. This is Steve's Art and Fun, and you also can check me out on DTube and subscribe there. And fuck all the haters. Because, you know, like I said, I always get judgment, I always get hate. But I don't give a fuck. Okay, it is what it is. I'm not changing. It is what it is. So, I appreciate everyone who is a current subscriber, current viewer, people that, you know, like, comment, and sub, hit the bell icon, and have a nice day.